This is how we start. This
Hi.
is just how we're gonna start it.
There's great
Hello.
episodes of podcasts with people that just start in the middle of a conversation. This can be one of those. Hi, I'm DM Joe. And they don't even introduce themselves because at this point you should know who we are, but not really because we're
And if you don't, welcome. It's a shit show.
welcome. Literally.
I'm
Nick,
Christina. He's Joe.
yeah, I'm
Yep,
Cristina, she's Joe.
that too.
Yeah.
And
So
this is what is it?
uh is that an Owl Bear, a D&D podcast? Or
Was that a
also,
question, or are we certain?
or it could also be my first MCU podcast, but like we're debating. Comment
We're
below if you
debating.
want Cristina to talk about the MCU. If we get two comments, she'll said she'd do it.
That is putting a lot of words on Christina's mouth. A lot of words. A lot of assurance dangling from, from the premise of two comments. But
It's
yes,
how you build
we digress.
engagement.
But I digress. What is going on? Y'all, I can't see, and I can't find my glasses either. It's great, but I just see bright lights. So Joe is going to guide me in this uncertain day of recording because I can't see shit. I am blinded by the light. What?
That's a lot of pressure.
Well, buckle up, Buttercup. It's your turn. Wait, what happened? It's always your turn. You're the one who always takes care of that. Greg is trying to help me find my glasses.
Why are you fidgeting? I love that we started recording and that's the moment where we're fidgeting and talking about the MCU. Did you like the Marvels?
I did. I did enjoy the Marvels. I really did.
It was so fun.
It was. And a lot of people don't like Miss Marvel.
Yes. Both.
Yes. Thank you, husband. A lot of people, like, I've heard a lot of bad or conflicting comments on how people felt about the Miss Marvel show itself. I loved it. I love Kamala.
I thought it was good.
I absolutely love it. And Kamala's mom, my favorite character.
She was the best. She's the best character in the MCU. I don't care.
MCU. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. I don't fight me.
Like, I was going to say something very rude, and then I remember where I live, so I'm not going to say it anymore. Okay, this is all in fun, all right? This is all in fun, but I do live in New York, okay? So the New York pride in me wants to say something good had to come out from Jersey at some point. And that is a very rude thing for me to say, and I know, so I take it back, and I apologize to all the Jerseyans. I don't know what your actual term is, but you know what? This is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
And in Dungeons and Dragons, there's a magical item called Jersey.
Like what this? It does, this is a Jersey.
Yes, correct. What this magical item does, I don't know. There's a joke somewhere there, and then it was gonna. I don't live in the States to be making jokes on Jersey. All I know about New Jersey is there's a lot of Italian Americans, there's a lot of Snookies, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to like stereotype, but like,
and respectfully, a lot of people like to put ice in their wine. That's
honestly here. I don't care. I'm gonna go online and say this controversial thing. Cold, like drinking wine without ice or whatever works in countries where it's not 1,000,000 degrees. Hot red wine is disgusting. Not it.
I was raised Catholic. That shit is disgusting.
It is like for all of the whatever my father, whatever, for all the whatever, for one thing he instilled in me without getting into anything, the one that he did he was like, he gave me that argument. He says, you can have al tiempo. I don't know how to say it in English. You can have wine
room temperature.
Room temperature wine if you live in places that are cold. That makes sense.
Correct.
But if you live in fucking Panama, where yesterday I was sitting,
that shit is vinegar.
It was midnight, and I was like, I didn't have the air on because I was smoking, and I wanted the room to kind of like air out, whatever. And I was like, why is it so? I was playing Spider-Man. I was smoking. And then I was like, why? It was 32 degrees. Sorry, that is Celsius. Fahrenheit. Correct. 32 degrees is Um,
like the 70s, no, 80 something. It's in the 80s. Babe, how
yeah.
much is 30 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit? Like 100 degrees? See how far off I am? So we're talking like 110, give or take. That's gross. Gross.
Why is it not letting me convert it? It's making me upset. Anyway, so it was just it was too warm for midnight. At that it should be like 23. Anyway, the world's
Honestly,
ending.
the world is going places. And that is why we choose to go the opposite direction and indulge with fantasy. And
with
fantasy has magical items.
and the magical items that we're going to talk about are like I don't want to say the best, but this list made by Wargamer,
Thank you,
Mara
Wargamer.
France, and published it 2 weeks ago.
Games.
Yes. And it's just a bunch of things that are good.
So wrestling,
And
that was a wrestling reference. I'm so sorry. I know that it totally went like over your head, and I know, but yes. But I mean, yes, but also, right? Yeah, war games is a thing. Go on. I'm sorry.
So
Please go to our YouTube.
sometimes we don't say words. So okay, so obviously the one of the most important items, magical items that you should always seek out. I am stingy as fuck with. Like Joe is notoriously stingy with this one, bag of holding. I don't want to give you a bag of holding. I never want you to have a bag of holding. You know
Is it
why?
like a Mary Poppins bag?
Yes.
No, it's too
But
fucking
like
powerful.
in earlier editions, I remember playing and players would solve all their problems like with a bag of holding. It's like
That's
I
exactly the
disguise
problem.
one person and then we all get in the bag of holding. But now it's different. Now like you can only be in the bag for a minute because there's no oxygen there and like it's better. But I'm still this like jaded little fucker who just can't. And then but you know, to add insult to my injury, the same way my beautiful Monday group, shout out to all of you because I know you listen and I love you.
Shout out, guys.
They told me that my fear paralysis demon is a whole group that casts silvery barbs, and they're not wrong. I hate it. But anyway, I don't know why I'm mentioning them right now because artificers can make bag of holdings.
Oh, okay.
They don't have an artificer, so I don't know why I mentioned them in that moment. But
because you love them so much.
I do love them. But so yeah, artificers can make bag of holdings, and then you can just put a bag of holding in a bag of holding in a bag of holding. Actually, you can't do that, but so anyway, get a bag of holding. The thing is with me, because I don't really play with encumbrance, because I don't play D&D to do math. Like I don't. And there are other DMs that will give you that more realistic approach. Like I'll play with encumbrance if we're playing the Hunger Games.
Right. I hear you.
Because there it matters.
Because the odds like may or may not be ever on your favor.
Yeah, because weapons are going to be scarce, so like you can't just
that's a resource.
But at the same time, I don't if you're like I have 88 weapons, I'll be like, okay, like no you don't, like stop. So yeah,
something I really hate, and I am not, you know that I am not the biggest D&D player, but given that circumstance, I just really hate the potential of someone being like, oh no, but I had that in my bag, and it's like, but when did you put it there?
Yeah,
how can you justify like, no, I put it in before the I don't know, the campaign started? That shit don't count. There is no before. There's no before unless it's been discussed with the DM. Go on. The retroactive what?
Did I freeze or did you freeze? I don't know.
Neither.
The retroactive items appearing in bags. I guess my connection is. I'm in a storm right now, so my
I'm sorry.
Fuck up. No, well, it's not your fault. You're not Mother Nature. But
call me storm.
Retroactive fixing things. Okay. I'm not gonna do that.
We coming back to the MCU. Go on.
Always,
Always.
always back. See, guys, 2 comments. Christina, convince her to do
No.
an MCU podcast with me. Um,
But
all
honestly,
right.
don't put people in bags. Don't put people in
Don't put people in
bags.
bags. Put bodies in bags.
It's no, it's easier. No, don't
I can't.
unless it's a body in a bag. Don't put people in bags.
Oh,
It's
that's right,
easier
because
if
they
just
do have. They do. The Monday group does have a bag of holding, and on Monday I killed 3 of them, and they put one of the bodies in a bag of holding.
I mean, does it preserve in said bag?
No.
Or exactly. So you're just gonna pull out. I want to listen, trigger warning. All right. Just if you put a freshly deceased body in a bag, and you just leave that body in that bag, eventually gases are going to build up. That body might explode. That body might explode, and you don't want a smear in your bag. As a woman who carries purses, don't want explosions in your bags.
There's
do that.
spells that you can cast on bodies to like conserve them.
Of course, and that makes more sense. I'm just saying, in case somebody forgets to preserve the body magically, don't put the body in a bag.
Yeah, correct. On our second items, very useful item is a cloak of protection. Always good. It basically is kind of a +1 to your AC. You have to attune to it though, and most people only let you have 3 attune items. But cloaks of protection are it's just good knowledge to
shield.
Try to get one.
Is it kind of like a malleable shield?
But like a shield, you need to use your offhand. Like you need to have it equipped. This you just kind of put on, and you still have your 2 hands to kind of fuck around and find out.
All right. Useful.
So that's a good one. We also got a broom of flying.
Yes, immediate want. Give it to
like
me.
I would definitely have like a villain come in on his broom, because of course, and be all like blah, 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 and then leave. But it's actually it's like it lets you fly around. It's good. It's useful. If you can put it in your bag of holding, and then you have a room of flying, you have like easy transportation.
That is very smart. Not to get picky, but yes, I'm getting picky. All right. If you're going to be riding in a broom, if you're just going to be like, you better be fit as fuck. Your body better justify riding that broom, because the core work and holding on to that stick and making sure that you don't wobble, and the thighs, it's always leg day when you're riding a broom. Prove me wrong.
Do you ride brooms often?
I mean,
because you're speaking with such like gusto that I'm curious if you ride your broom. My hair, okay. So let's try.
I'm just saying, logically. And unless, which obviously it would be, but unless the broom is modified to comfortably fit the rider seamlessly, regardless of the visuals, then logically, if it's just a broom that can fly, justify yourself.
I mean, like, it's a magic, it's D&D, it's great, whatever. So like, whatever. But honestly, it seems dangerous. Like, it's like,
yeah,
just riding a broom in the sky just seems dangerous.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I don't think of it, if hypothetically, if a broom was able to fly and I were able to fly in a broom, right? That shit is not for long distance. That shit cannot be for long distance. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, let me go catch up with this caravan that is 3 days gone from where I'm at. I missed them by 3 days, and I got my nifty flying broom. I can catch up. Bitch, you can't.
But like, are you just gonna go by yourself? Because not everybody's gonna get a flying broom, you know?
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you don't know. I'm currently reading a book where they all have brooms and they all flying them and they are an army and they are getting it's smut, okay? It's smut, but it's fantastic smut.
Does
And
it
in
rhyme with
this,
Larry Otter?
no,
Because they all have
it's a
brooms.
it's a Sarah J. Maas book. It is full on smut.
Work.
Yes.
Get your lady freak on.
Well, no, to be completely honest, I'm on book 3 and there hasn't been a single sex scene. I am very upset. I guess that I picked the wrong series because the other 2 series that I started that I already read from her, just fantastic, just chef's kiss. But this one, PG. There's a lot of death, but not a lot of booby, and that makes me feel a certain way.
That
Moving on.
we need more boobies. Moving on
Always.
until our next item, which is important. It's the wand of magic missile. So magic missile is a cool spell because it always
Magic
hits.
missile. Yes. Ooh, I didn't know that about magic missile. It always hits.
It always hits.
No wonder everybody uses
in
that shit.
order for magic missile to not hit, you need to have items that say magic
You
missile
can't
doesn't
hit me.
Mhm.
Oh, specifically say that magic missile
Specifically.
does. Oh,
So magic missile
well,
is
that's
really cool.
interesting. That's good to know.
And
Ooh, I
it
can see
shoots
again.
out. Ooh, it shoots out 3 missiles. Each of them do 1d4 plus 1. But if you cast it at a higher level, you can shoot out more missiles. So you can end
Oh,
up rolling
nice.
like, I don't know, 10d4 plus 1 per
Wow.
missile.
Okay.
So
Damn,
like
all right.
that's end up being at least 20 damage minimum. Like it's some good shit. So a wand of magic missile is just useful.
This makes me maybe want to play with somebody who can cast magic
missile
now.
into the darkness. That would require a lot of reading.
That would require a lot of reading. And knowing me, I would just grab a wand and I would just throw magic missile to the void and wake up some shit. Because that's just how I act first and ask for permission or forgiveness later if I'm still alive. That's where yeah.
That's how it works. Another fun item is the alchemy jug, which basically lets you fill out I think it's like a gallon or 3.7 liters of any liquid per day, once per day. So you can be like, I want beer, I want water, I mean, if you're into that urine, if like, you can, any liquid you can fill up your jug with and be like, I have this now.
Hey, maybe you're creating a homunculus and you need to collect a lot of urine. I don't know.
What homunculus are you creating with urine?
Well, not the D&D ones, like regular. Yeah. Okay, fine. Like other homunculus lores require all different kinds of physical. You know what? Let's move on. It's not D&D. Yep. Yep.
Guys, train wreck. So
I'm sorry.
In D&D, you need like a gem, like a gem that's worth some amount, and that's
it.
Mm-hmm.
In other lores, it's like pee pee poo poo, vomit, blood, and mucus, and semen. That too. All of that in a little pot.
What about tears? Because you also
that would just make it sadder. That would just make it sadder.
What about like eye mucus?
That's, I mean, I guess it adds flavor and personality.
Cool. I'm glad we had this conversation. Next magical weapon. Glad we're all learning today. Next magical item is just in this list is just a magical weapon, and the reason the reason they included this is that there's enemies that resist all type of non-magical weapons, and I'm going to tell a fun story, and this is actually based on this Monday group that I mentioned earlier. They were fighting some golems, where a lot of them where people died, and it was sad.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you know it's Recon and Nick and Tucker they're in that group.
Hey guys.
And they were fighting some golems, but none of them had adamantine weapons, and golems resist all damage not based from adamantine weapon, which aren't magical weapons. But I think it's I'll take this moment to kind of make that little, like, you kind of want to look for those, plus you want to look for magical, and you need to have like a variety of slashing, bludgeoning, blah blah blah, because it matters.
Whenever you think you're done with weapons, you're not.
You're never done.
You can always do better with weapons.
Yes.
All
So
right. I think
always
that's
look for
a
magical
valid
+1,
statement.
+2s, +3s. Get those weapons, destroy everything, and be
Destroy
happy.
everything.
Now, there's a couple. I'm gonna just kind of talk about this other item as a generic, because there's a couple of tattoos you can get, and the magical item is like the needle.
Oh.
So like
Oh.
you can there's some that give you like extra AC, there's some that allow you to have more monk powers, there's some that give you more HP. It's just like the tattoo that you get is magical. The one that they included here is the Illuminator's tattoo. And what it does is it grants the ability called magical scribing, which basically allows you to touch any written message with your fingertips, say someone's names, and for the next 24 hours, only the writer and the one whose name you spoke can read that message. Like when I say they have a bunch of little abilities based on the tattoos, is yeah, and I think they're pretty cool. I
But
haven't
like,
given any
would
out.
it be only the case in which the needle is okay?
Yes.
Because
Then
wait, because let me ask you this. You just said that the one who the artist, you said, right? Who are the ones who can you reread the description? I'm sorry.
so you get the tattoo.
Yes, I
Then
get this too.
you get the ability called magical scribing, which is I touch a letter and I'm like Cristina, and only you can read that letter for 24 hours.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Since the person that receives the tattoo was, treated by an artist with a magical needle, can the opposite be true? Can you find magical ink for tattoos, and what would the difference be?
I mean, I'm sure there's magical ink, but the magical item in say with these tattoos is the needle, not the ink.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Shouldn't it
I
be the
mean,
ink though?
that's my
Shouldn't it be both?
question. That's exactly. Thank you. I'm so glad that you got there by yourself. Because okay, guys, calm down, bikers outside. Because like, wouldn't it make sense for it to be the ink, what remains on the skin?
Well, it's like, what is magical? The rune that you make or the magic that you use to make the rune?
Well,
I guess it's
both.
this, right. So I guess the answer would apply both. Both the needle and the ink should be magical. So you would need both, but it's just the needle that you have to attune with because
okay. I mean, I see that. I see what you mean. Since like all of these equipment, all of the equipment requires attunement. A lot of them. The only, well, not necessarily the only one, but the more practical thing to attune with would be the needle, because if you're attuning with the ink, even though I would assume that is possible, it will run out. Your tool would remain.
Yeah, and then you would need new ink.
You would need to continuously get new ink and continue to attune the new ink over and over again. I mean, I am sure that using both would be preferable, like magical needle and magical ink. But if we're specifically talking about an item that requires attunement with the user, it would have to be the needle. Okay.
You're making me like question. You're making me like question if I write with a pen or if I write with ink.
Yes.
Like I'm now trying to understand if the pencil is the what I use or the lead or the paper. Like I don't. I didn't have these questions before, and now I have them.
You're welcome.
No. So
these questions are valid though.
For whom? Who needs this?
Yeah.
Oh.
So moving on.
Kamala, take her. All right, so next boots. Next items are boots that you put on, and you're like, as a human, put on the boots, and then you can be like, I look like a dragonborn.
All right.
And your tracks are that race, that other
Dragony.
humanoid,
Oh.
dragonborn E.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then which is good for like rangers and tracking, and if you're being chased, to like fuck off and find out, right?
Right.
A couple of other items here. We have obviously spell scrolls, because, and I like how some, like me personally with spell scrolls, I let anybody use spell scrolls as long as they make an arcana check. I know that's not raw, but I like
Mm.
everybody having the ability to
Okay.
try, because in a dire situation that might come in and really kind of get you through. And yeah, then after that, we have a very fun item for me, and I really like it. It's called a circlet of blasting.
A
Um,
circlet of blasting.
yes. So you put on this beautiful little circlet that has like a little red stone on it, and it lets you sketch basically as an action, you can cast Scorching Ray, which are 3 beams of fire that shoot out from the little gemstone. And I love it.
Are
I
you
love it.
telling me that I could be a magical girl in freaking Dungeons and Dragons and just like Sailor Moon my way into like blasting people with my tiara?
Yes. You you can definitely um do that.
I didn't
And
need a magical girl campaign, and now that's the only thing I can think about.
I mean,
Oh,
I think we all needed a magical girl campaign a little bit. Like
can we?
I
Yes, you need one.
I I need one because I think it's pretty fun.
I love that. I want that. Also, yes, without spoiling anything in case you haven't seen the Marvels, yes, the Marvels is a magical girl movie. It is. Be mad if you want, whomever might be mad at this. It was amazing. It
Look,
was perfection. I
the people
loved
who are
it.
coming for the Marvels are like some criticism for like, it's just that Kamala Khan is really annoying, and I'm like, where was that
She's a
energy with
teenager. Shut the fuck up.
hold up, where was that energy when it came to like Peter Parker? They're very similar characters in how they worship a stronger hero and do kind of funny
Correct.
blah blah blah, like sometimes it's a little much, sometimes it isn't, but there was that energy didn't exist for Peter Parker, and it does for Kamala.
Correct.
And that's just like, why is that double standard there? I'm not going to be like,
Sexist. The
yeah, like
patriarchy.
it's not that I want to say that, but
I can.
check where you're coming from on that. Like, if it didn't bother you with Spider-Man, why does it bother you with Kamala?
As simple as that.
There's more magical items, but we are running out of time.
We
So
are.
I sent you a picture of what
You did?
seems to be a lion. But it's a very green looking, kind of has
It's a
flowers
regal
growing
kitty.
around. It has beautiful yellow mane, very planty. Its tail is like one of those things that you can blow. What's that called?
A dandelion.
Yes, that.
Oh.
What do you think this monster's called?
Well, it is a lion-looking creature who looks very dandy. So I would call it a dandelion. However,
You're right.
really?
You are right. Um,
Two
so
out of two. 2 out of 2.
two
I
out of
got
two.
last week's. I got the nightmare and I got the dandelion. Look at me.
So the dandelion is actually a very kind of fey creature that is
It
a
has flowers in its mane, of
herbivore.
course.
It loves to share its knowledge. It loves about farming. Like, it's a very like plant-based kind of thing that you
I
can find in
love
the Fae.
it.
And I think a cute detail about this one is that this was created also part of that pack that was created by the children. Did I mention that last time with the coral? Did
No.
I? So there's a pack a book that has monsters that children drew a couple of monsters for D&D, and they were adapted into the game, and it's really cute. Like
that.
there is
That's so
in the
cute.
web page directly for D&D Beyond, you see the original drawing that the kids did for this.
Oh,
So it's
that's
super
so
cute. It is like, yay, kids.
Or some.
And yeah,
Did you
for
hear
some.
what
I
I
mean,
said?
I don't want kids, but yay, kids for people who
I
want
love
them.
being an auntie. I love being an auntie.
Yes,
Period.
correct. Your kids, I'll take care of them and then give them back. But yeah, so that's gonna be this episode of Is That an Owlbear, a D&D podcast. We'll probably talk about magical items in some other episode because there's a ton.
Probably.
And I want
There's
to talk
so
a
many.
little bit about the homebrew items that I've done because I enjoy them also
Ooh.
and want to share them with everyone.
Yes,
Um,
please.
so
Well,
just a
not
couple of
not now
items.
because we're out of time. But
We're
yeah.
out of time, but just giving you, hints. And remember, comment down below if you want Cristina to talk about the MCU, and
Ah.
we'll make it happen.
Maybe one every 4 episodes. It's gonna be a
Exactly. May,
we'll see.
maybe we'll release 5 episodes a month, and then one of them is MCU, the other 4 are regular episodes. Because we can do a Dill Recording Day. I said what I said. And if you don't want to do it, then I might just take this idea and
I love
not
you.
do it.
Let's
Goodbye.
on that note, we are
On that
wrapping
note,
up this episode. Where can people find you?
they can find me on Twitter under Joe Harrell. They can find me on Instagram under the DM Joe. They can find me on startplaying.games under DM Joe. And yeah. And
All right.
where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitch as Crispa Contreras, and on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and TikTok as Crispa120. So come hang out and check out our YouTube channel. Check out our socials, our collective Is That an Owlbear socials. Owlbear Pod for Instagram and what is it? And YouTube, and Owlbear Pod 1 on Twitter. Come and check it out. Come and check us out. Message us, comment, all of the things. Thank you, guys.
All of the things. Thank you.
We're done.
Bye-bye.
Bye.